Here is how to create an HDR shot with just one photo. Hello my friends, how are you doing? My name is Olivia, I'm a professional artist. Let's get started. So in this video, I want to show you how to take the photo, how to edit it, but also the downsides of this method. First, let me open up the photo so you can see what we are working with. You can see here we have a night shot and the photo is very dark. The reason for that is because I exposed for the highlights. This means that the bright areas of the image are still correctly exposed, because if they are overexposed, you cannot recover them. Now, when we would try to do adjustments with the developer persona, you can see when I push up here the exposure, I get the rest of the image brighter, but then the bright areas are overexposed. We don't want to have that. So instead of using the developer persona, I click here on develop, and then I'm using the tone mapping persona. Click on that, and after this has loaded, you have multiple adjustments here on the right side and presets on the left side. Now, one of the most important adjustments here is the tone compression, because with this you can adjust how close the values come together. So you can see where we have these light areas, they stay the same, and the rest of the image becomes brighter. This is exactly what we want, and with this we can create an HDR-like effect. Now below that we have local contrast, which is also helpful because it will introduce more contrast, so you can use this by taste. And then also down here we have brightness, which is good to push down the bright values a little bit if you want to. So this already looks pretty good. If you want to do more adjustments to different areas of the image, what you can do is to go to overlays here, and then down here you have a brush tool and you also have a gradient tool. So in this case, I'm using the gradient tool. I'm pulling up a gradient here until the middle of the image. So now I can adjust this part that is highlighted in red. When I go back to my tone map, now this only adjusts that area. I don't have the same sliders now, so I can't adjust my tone compression here, but I can use exposure and I can use brightness, for example. I can use contrast to adjust that area down here separately in the image. Also, you can still move the gradient around. So you have a lot of possibilities to adjust different areas in the image. When we go back to overlays, you can click on master, and this will give you back all the controls for the whole picture. Now with this adjusted, click here on apply. But keep in mind that this is a destructive method, so this is going to be rendered into your pixel layer. When you go back to the tone mapping persona, the adjustments won't be there anymore to turn them back. So this is very important to keep in mind. Now here's another thing, and this is actually the big downside of this method. Noise in an image has a lot to do with the ISO setting, but also with the quality of the signal. And dark light means a bad signal. You can see here that these areas in the front are both dark and blurred in our original image, while this lady here in the background on the phone is sharper but also a lot brighter. So you can see here that we have a lot more noise and less detail, while here in the brighter areas we have a lot less noise and more detail. Now luckily in Affinity Photo we can go up here to filters and then to noise and denoise. Here we have several adjustments that you can play around with to try to push the noise down as much as possible. You have luminance noise, which is the brightness of the values, and then you also have color noise, because when you have noise, the pixels take on colors they shouldn't have. So colors and color contribution will actually try to limit the color noise as well. Let's click here on apply. Now the colors could be a little bit different, so I go down here to adjustments and to my color balance, and we'll play around with the midtone levers here. So let's see, a little bit more like that would be good, and this looks pretty good. There we go. I would say that is a pretty amazing result from just one photo, especially if we compare it to the before. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.